Okay, we've gotten to the Mattel Intellivision, and the first game we're playing is Dracula. Imagic, 1983. I've never been terribly interested in vampire fiction, but I recently tried this game for the first time, as I'm ever curious about old ones with which I have no familiarity. You too? It's fun, right? Acquainting myself with something to which I had no access when it was new, and when games themselves were relatively young, with nearly every idea overlapping uncharted territory to some degree, remains a fascinating indulgence. Even if something's not a favorite, I can always find something positive or interesting. I can also appreciate the accidental humor in whatever I think is a game's weak points. Now, I'm not stating that Alan Smith's Dracula is no fun, but the game beyond the game is often in making it funny while you're having fun with it. I've done this since I was a kid. Why stop now? Dracula is a vaguely isometric, side-scrolling biter that takes place in an endless electric storm, explaining why none of the lights work. The windows are all dark in the township through which the actual playfield, the sidewalk, extends. We're probably not missing much in those windows. It's a pretty dead town. It's filled with graveyards. When you spot a passerby, attempt to collide with him and time your button push to bite him. You don't drink his blood or kill him or anything. You turn him into a 50. Now, unschooled as I am in vampire lore, I've heard of no Dracula incarnation who craves transforming innocent people into numbers. Maybe this is actually his cousin, Count Matthula. I was irrationally excited to discover that I could knock on the doors. Given the scarcity of victims, I had some fun walking from door to door, knocking in a cruel and wicked manner and running away sniggering. Sometimes, instead of being a fiendish prankster, I'd see an opportunity to invent dialogue. How interactive! I like that in a game. This one was truly more sophisticated than I'd given it credit for. I took advantage of the extra feature. Good evening, I'm from Nosferatu's Witnesses. You'll occasionally encounter a dog who's taking himself for a walk. If you try to bite him, the role reversal doesn't sit well, and he somehow causes you to walk slower for a long time afterward. It's possible that he chomps your foot, but this isn't graphically made apparent. I'm sure that it's explained in the manual, which I would normally read before playing seriously. But in this case, why spoil the fun? Left to my own devices and my scant knowledge of the Count's legend, I've ascertained that he's allergic to the sun and dogs. Of course, he might be walking slower because he's trying to scrape something off his shoe. When I tried another button, I was delighted to see my character turn into a bat. I had a good time flying around, yelling into people's windows, until I was chased by an airborne, blood-soaked handkerchief. I decided to resume human form before realizing that I probably needn't have. Such an item would surely be more appetizing to a true vampire than numbers on the sidewalk. After a while, I found myself at a loss regarding how to complete what had been designated Night 1. I tried stepping into one of the cemeteries, and lo and behold, I turned back into a bat and went to sleep. So that's the object of the game? To take a nap? There is some challenge as the people who happen to be out on such a nasty night run away from you, so they seem to know that you're unfriendly. Why they don't all bring their dogs along, for protection against vampires, is beyond me. Here's a disclaimer. I am aware that you have to bite a certain amount of people and get back to your crypt before 6 a.m., and that the hankies and dogs are supposed to be vultures and wolves. Stake-throwing constables chase you at higher difficulty settings. Your bites momentarily paralyze them, but munching a civilian with the alternate button turns him into a zombie, who's maneuvered with a second controller and utilized to chase the cops away. Sometimes my pre-manual impressions simply make for more entertaining reading. or in this case, of course, listening. The next Intellivision game we'll be playing is Microsurgeon.